Yeah, awesome.
So the way that it get people to have their first meeting, or you say experience, or maybe they've had experience with God, but to have it again, consciously have an experience with God, is to ask God for a sign. And I'll tell you my story, and then I'll tell you some of the subtleties, and so that people can go through this process themselves, right? And I don't even know if we've gone through it with you, but if we haven't gone through it, then you can do this as well, and you'll see it. And it's the most phenomenal thing. It's the most
Mhm.
phenomenal thing. So the task is to how to get to an experience of God. The first thing we get people to do is to ask God for a sign, a very specific sign, and God responds by showing you that sign. Right now, just so people can understand the significance of it, you've asked for a very specific sign from the creator of the cosmos, and then that sign turns up. So what that means, you are literally aligning yourself with God, right? You are interacting with the creator of the entire universe, and the creator has responded to you. You could say positively, and sending you that sign saying, yes, here it is, here's what you asked for, right? So that is phenomenal, because now you're actually like, I don't know, like, I don't know if I can feel God. Now you know you're in contact with God. So what are you getting from that? What's your understanding of just that? Just how big that is. It's not a small thing, right? It's a monumental thing.
Yeah, I think I've done this. I did this unconsciously, right?
Yes.
But now that we talk about it, it's I can actually see how that all unfolds, right? Like,
Yes.
because you're not in search of the thing anymore. You're in search
Yes.
of God. So it's like, well, if right, if you are real God, show me,
Yes.
show me,
Yeah.
and then you've already pre-positioned yourself to see that sign.
Yes.
So you're conscious of the fact that when that sign turns up, you're like, huh, I can see it. Okay, this there
Yes.
starts my journey. It's like
Yes.
that. It's like the catalyst.
Yeah. That's how huge it is, right?
Mm.
So now you know. So rather than all of a sudden learning about God, studying about God, praying to God, doing all of this, now you've actually moved into experiencing God, right? So how do you do it? So the first step is ask for a sign, ask for a specific sign. And when I first did it, um, I asked to see a rainbow-colored unicorn. I go, that'll do it. It's like maybe I see a picture or something of it, but it'll be a rainbow colored unicorn. That's what it is. Then I know that this is God. I know it. And I was in, when I did this, I was in a cafe in Browns Bay, just by the beach. And so the process is this: the process of prayer, the process of what people would call manifestation. Jesus explained very simply. It's so profound, most people totally miss it. Prayer is never about asking, because when you ask, and the moment you ask, what actually happens is you push it away. And so prayer is confirmation that you've received. So Jesus said, when you ask, act as you have received, and it shall be granted unto you, right? So you have to go into a non-visible place. It's not visible to anyone, where your prayer has already been answered. And therefore, you're not looking for it, because you've already received it. It's not visible to any person, but it's visible to you internally. So what I did is I closed my eyes. I was in the middle of the cafe, I closed my eyes, and then I went into a place where um, this rainbow-colored unicorn literally appeared, and I thought, well, how would that um, parallel universe, because there's infinite universes that coexist, how would that Well, how would that look? What would I be doing right now if I just saw it? It just came right past me. Like a picture just appeared right in front of me. Right, if something happened and I saw it right in front of me, what would I go? What would be my experience? And then I started to think about it, and then I went into it, and it was just like this is how it sounded inside my head. It's just like, oh my God, I can't believe it's so quick. Like, that's crazy. I just asked for a sign, and this sign is just like it's just appeared. Oh my God, thank you so much. Thank you, my God. Thank you. Now I know. Now I shall never doubt. Now I know that you are real. I know not only you're real, but you're here and you're interacting with me. Thank you, my God. And I went into like it's like this astounding state where I was just astounded. I was so grateful because I'd made contact with God. I wasn't thinking about it. I was actually experiencing it. I went fully into the experience. And it was only did that for maybe 2 minutes. When I got up, there was a lady who just got to the checkout before me. And if it was like about 10 seconds earlier, I would have been there earlier. So now I had to wait. That's an important note, by the way. So I had to wait until she got served. Didn't take her too long. She got served, paid for her coffee. Then I paid for my coffee. Then I went outside, I hopped in my car, and I started looking around, wondering if I would see a unicorn. And of course, I realized, well, what am I doing? I'm now in a state of looking for it. Looking means you never experience it. I'm in a state of looking. Stop looking and just go back and stay in the state of actually having that experience. Just because it's non-visible means nothing. So I started driving my car down the front of where the beach front is, the Esplanade, and I just went back into this state of just like, oh my God, I can't believe how quickly that happened. I'm actually interacting with the Almighty. I can't believe how it happened. I can't believe how quickly it happened. As I drove down, there were two ladies with a pram, and I let them cross in front of me. And now get this, they wouldn't have been there if the lady at the counter wasn't there and I was delayed by a minute or two, right? They wouldn't be there because I would have gone. So that lady had to be there. Everything had to line up. And that lady, when she crossed, hanging off her pram was a big rainbow-coloured unicorn, a big toy, like it's huge. And she walked right past in front of me, and she said, "Thanks." I was just like, "You're welcome." And and then instantly, I was still going, "Thank you, God." But as I was saying, "Thank you, God," I can't believe how quickly it was. Then I actually said, "Thank you, God." I can't believe how quickly it was. It was exactly the same thing, experience. Because I wasn't thinking about it, I was actually having that experience. So I was having the experience beforehand. Then I had the experience, which is exactly the same, by the way, which is why it happened, right? I wasn't looking, because looking is the state of you haven't received it. So I just went into the state of experiencing it. You get it, my brother?
I do, yeah.
Okay. And I'll tell you one other one. This is really interesting, is my mind got involved in it. You know how sometimes you ask for a sign and then you go, yeah, but really was it? And then your mind just,
Yeah.
there's probably a lot of, actually, if I think about it, there's probably a lot of unicorns, rainbow-coloured unicorns all over the place when you think about it. Because after that, I started seeing them everywhere, like everywhere. And then my mind goes, well, maybe it's just, like should have asked for something a little bit more unusual, right? And so here I was, literally, it was about, maybe it was a week or two later, I think it was a couple of weeks. And I said to God, I will ask one more time and I'll never ask again. I'm not going to be that guy. But I need to know. I need to know beyond all doubt. And not only, God, I want a sign that will remove all doubt. It will be a sign of such a magnitude that for the rest of my life, I will be sharing this experience with everybody. I wanted a miracle that is so outstanding that I can never deny. My mind cannot deny it now. It is that I want that, and I don't even know what it is, but I want a sign that is so miraculous that I will never doubt you, and for the rest of my life, I will share this story. And I was in another cafe, because there's a few of them down in front of Browns Bay. This cafe was full. It was full of people, like just, it was packed. And I'm not the most approachable looking guy, like I'm a little bit jacked and, I got tats everywhere. And so I was just sitting there minding my own business. And I was at a table. I closed my eyes and I did exactly the same. And but this was an even more astounding experience because just like, well, that's just a pure miracle. Like the unicorn was awesome, but this is literally a miracle. And I went into a state of almost, you could say, ecstasy. And it's just like, thank you, my God, thank you. And because now I shall never doubt for the rest of my life. I now hand it over to you. This is how big this sign is. Thank you, my God, because I know that you are here right now. And so I closed my eyes, I did that. And there were a lot of people walking around, and I did that for about 3 or 4 minutes. So 3 or 4 minutes is actually a bit of a long time, by the way. And I opened my eyes, and um, it's like underneath that astoundment was this peace, and which I come to understand was God's presence, is a deep peace, a peace not because anything has happened, but just God's presence. It's that peace beyond understanding is how the Bible explains it, right? Within maybe 30 seconds, a woman comes up to me and puts a white card on my table. Now, I've gone to that one cafe a lot, and I was thinking, well, she must be a new waitress or something. She just put it's like a business card, but it's blank on one side. And I was like, oh, thanks. And then she just put it down, she walked off. And I was thinking, who are you? Like, are you taking my order? You come for who are you? Like, I already had a coffee. Maybe I thought she was taking, and I'm going to ask you, do you want some more coffee or whatever? But then I realized she's not a waitress because she wasn't dressed as one, and she was walking out. I thought, that's weird. So I picked up the card, and it was blank. And then on the other side, I'll send you the photo of it, of the people watching this. I'll display it on screen with the words, expect a miracle. So on one side, the card was blank. On another side, it says, expect a miracle. Like, who was she? What is this? I was like, what? Oh my God, I'm asking for a miracle, and it says, expect a miracle. And it literally just broke me totally, because all doubt was removed in that one beautiful, sacred moment. How beautiful is that, brother? What do you think of that?
It's a law, right?
It is a law.
When you align yourself with God, it's beyond comprehension.
But you can't even explain it, right?
Yeah.
I've actually had some people go, "Oh, I wonder why she left you the card. I mean, does she go around and give cards? You're
And they'll
missing
start
the point."
unpacking it. They'll start unpacking
You
it.
start to
Yeah.
analyze it. You just go, it's not for the mind.
Yeah.
Don't you understand there was a prayer? Don't you understand there was a request? Don't you understand that I had to be in that cafe at that time?
Mm.
Can't you see it? Are you going to hand this over to your mind? But the unicorn, I handed it over to my mind. So my mind was just like, really, is it? But there's no way on God's green earth that you can make any logical sense of this, right? But some people's minds will, because that's just where they're at. That's their state. But can you understand how that must have affected me? Can you get that?
Yeah, I know.
Okay.
I know how that would have affected you.
So you can ask for any sign, like, I don't know, like a blue donkey if you want, and the process is to close your eyes and actually have the experience and then live in the experience. Now your mind will go, when has this happened? The answer is, it already happened. You just had the experience, didn't you? Right? And so, because that question is only for the mind that is going, well, I don't see it. You don't have to see it. It's not a visible physical thing. The first step is you have to be in the experience, and it'll be non-visible. No one will see it until after you see it. And that's the whole shift, is the physical world. You have to let go of this, right?
Mm.
And so I lived in that experience. When you truly align and live into the experience, the physical world, and there's a whole quantum physics science behind it. By law, it must appear.
Mm.
But more important than understanding the law, the science behind it, is you are now in contact with the Most High.
Mm.
And what's the consequences of that? It means that now I can get God to, not to bless me with this life. It's like people are trying to ask God for things like money and stuff like that. And I really get it, because I did that most of my life. And also I was good at manifesting, because I understood certain laws. I manifested every single goal. Every goal. Every goal I got. None of it's satisfying. And what people are chasing is they're chasing the physical miracle, right? They're chasing, I want to relief from my cancer or whatever. But as you see in the students in the program, they literally are manifesting miracles.
Mm.
But the miracles it's not the physical miracle. That's why people miss it, and it doesn't happen. The actual miracle, there's only one true miracle. That true miracle is contact with God.
Mm.
That's the miracle, God's presence. And what follows God's presence are physical miracles. That's how you know you're aligned with God. All the promises in the Bible, they're either true for you or they're not true, or there's no God, right? But people's logical mind will justify, go, oh, there's a season for this. It's not quite happening at the moment. No, you're just not aligned with God, brother. Right? Because God is an instant here and now, and God's plans are far greater. I don't care about my goals. God's plan for me is far greater than anything I can even imagine. And I'm not trying to get this to get a better life, but I get an even greater life. But the greatest life isn't anything that God physically manifests for me. They're really enjoyable things, right? The greatest life is I have God who runs my life. My God, I can feel God here right now. I don't talk, God speaks through me. I don't move, God moves me. I don't manifest, I show up and the thing appears. How beautiful is that?
Yeah, it's extremely beautiful. I've had that experience a number of times.